Should I start, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Namaskar. Good evening, everyone. I, Professor Arshia Khajuria Hazarika, on behalf of FSAI Chandigarh Chapter, warmly welcome our esteemed guests, respected faculty members, professionals, students, and all participants to this online webinar. Thank you all for joining us today. We are delighted to have such an enthusiastic response for today's expert session on fire safety codes and preparedness, a key role in fire risk management. It is my privilege to introduce our speaker, Dr. Rajendra B. Koli, Principal of Anantrao Pawar College of Architecture, Pune. Dr. Koli is a senior architect, academician, researcher with over 3 decades of experience in architectural education, professional practice, and disaster risk response design. He holds a PhD in architecture and has contributed extensively through teaching, research, publications, and national level capacity building programs, particularly in the areas of safety codes, preparedness, and risk management. His vast academic and professional expertise makes him especially well suited to address today's topic, which of is of a critical importance to life safety, regulatory compliance, and resilient built environments. We truly look forward to learning from his insights. With this, I invite Dr. Kohli to kindly begin the expert talk. Over to Dr. Kohli.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome, Dr. Saab.
Yes, sir. Very nice to meet all of you.
Sir, can we have your expert opinion, please, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Very good evening to all. And it's a nice opportunity provided by Fire Safety Association of Chandigarh Chapter. And definitely it is creating awareness not only in the professional or education, but also in students and in general public, because we always meet so many disasters in our day-to-day life also. So considering this particular specialized chapter upon fire risk, I welcome all the participants on this platform. And this second session in this series of lecture actually planned before last week only, but due to some unavoidable circumstances in our institute or society, I couldn't deliver the lecture at the last. I suppose it was scheduled on Wednesday only. So Thursday. So this Thursday on 5th of February, we are meeting on this platform. So today's my topic is
kindly switch on switch off the mic, please. Thank you so much.
Can we share the screen?
No, yes, sir. Now you will share the screen, sir.
Yeah.
We cannot share the screen from our side. Yeah, I think you have disabled it.
No, just wait. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Me too, the same situation, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. You will just click, sir. Just click the share button. Okay. Select entire. Yes.
So very good evening. So today's my discussion will be in two sessions. First will be the preparedness, a key role in fire risk management, and second session will be fire safety design course. So it is my privilege to interact all of you on this today's platform on the public awareness lecture. But again, at this time also, I want to condolence for our mentors because in the 1 month series only we have lost our two good supporters in education. One just last week only on 28th January, our beloved Deputy Chief Minister and the Vice President of my institute, Mr. Ajit Pawar, was always supporting to all our education development for last 2 decades. And one of my good friend also mentor, Architect Vijay Garg sir, who also had sad demise on 31st December 2025, uh, ex-president of Council of Architects, New Delhi. So both these actually shocks in my the journey of education in this 1 month. But now, with the condolence to these two great personalities, I will just open this discussion and share my thoughts to all the public and teaching professionals and students on this platform. Thank you. So all of you know that a disaster management, we have a preparedness which has a key role because while we see the preparedness, that is the preparedness is a series of measures, and this series of measures that we have to design for timely and help to relief, rescue, and rehabilitation with consideration of the impact of that disaster. So, in any case of our life, it may be natural disasters or man-made disasters, the preparedness is playing a very key role where how you to be prepared to resist or to fight or to have a recovery of the human being as well the property from any such disasters. So this is the basic, I suppose, the cycle for this preparedness. Next. Now we will know that most of our natural hazards, in that also we have man-made and natural also. And in that series we have natural, that means floods are there. Then we have landslides, then cyclones are there. We have maybe early warning system or we may predict also. But sometimes all these disasters that mix with the fire, because we know in earthquakes also, because of the decentralization or because of the damage to the our electrical lines, roads, then water line, then other communication lines, we may have caused the fire. Then due to our negligence of the human being also, we can come into the risk of fire also. And lightning in the rainy seasons or flood season also, because of the overflow of this water, we can also come to some electrical short circuits, and also with fire hazards can be there. So in natural hazards, the fire is such a risk that which have both types of impact. One may be from natural side also, and one may be from man-made side also. But in this thing, if we see that the major losses are there in the built environment, because in built environment we are dealing with so many our facilities, so many our infrastructure that facet to our day-to-day working, day-to-day life. And if there any negligence from the human being, then definitely we have these occurrences of fire are also there. And beyond the built form also, in the nature, because of the droughts, because of the forest areas, because of the uh, densely populated areas, or less access areas, there also we've seen that if fire takes place, then it is very difficult to control or to have the rescue and relief in these areas because of the spreading of the fire with other calamities like smoke, like combustible material, like accessibility, availability of rescue and relief things. So it becomes again the vulnerable. So we can imagine that whenever any fire that is occurring in the built environment, in that case, we have a serious measures to be taken. And I suppose not only from the designing or planning stage, but selection of material, selection of technology, construction, then implementing of different services, coordination of services in that build form, then repairs, maintenance, then timely rescue and relief and signages and auditing and certification of these areas by the licensing authorities time to time, and also the occupants those are involved into this build form, their mock drills. So I suppose we can overcome the vulnerability also, and awareness in the public if we consider seriously, then definitely I suppose we have good control on this risks in case of fire. Now this risk management cycle. So I suppose.
Hello, Koli sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you share your PPT once again, sir?
Yeah. Okay.
Please.
This one or before one?
No. You will share again, sir.
All PPT? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
From the current slide, sir.
From the current slide. And today your lecture will be attended by Professor Dr. Amarjit Sahni sir.
Okay,
from
very
UK.
Nice. Welcome. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
Right now in UK, sir, or USA?
I'm in Miami, Florida, USA. Yes.
Yes. Okay, sir. Welcome, sir.
Very happy to join. Yes. Thank you so
Yes,
much for giving me the invitation.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good to see all the scholars. Yes.
Yes, sir. There will be interaction after session, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Sir. Share once again, sir. There is some technical issue. Again coming. Why not? Same thing is coming. Okay, please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Repeat,
Double.
Yes, sir. So the normal.
Can you go in slide mode, sir? Slide mode.
Okay.
Now yes. Please,
Yeah.
sir. Go ahead, sir. Perfectly.
So if we consider any disaster as a general, then this disaster management cycle that can help us to work in a timely measure, then designed steps, and also how to relieve and rescue the people as well as property. So whenever any disaster impact is there, the first is the response from the particular maybe occupants or maybe particular the people those who are in that service areas, and from this response, our first step is how to rescue relieve the people or the property involved in any disaster, because we know that if the immediate relief or immediate rescue operation can be done, then we can save more lives in any disaster, as well as the property which can be have a vulnerable this thing in any disaster that can be also controlled. And after this, I suppose the mitigation and other things can be considered, and again our first that our particular this today's lecture, that is the preparedness. Because if any impact whenever becomes vulnerable, if we are not prepared to sustain or prepared to fight or prepared to control for any such disaster. So I suppose this particular general disaster management cycle we can have in our mind, and definitely this can be work to any disaster that is happening into the particular our consequences. Now here I want to put one good example. Just last day only, our Pune Mumbai Express Highway, everybody knows it is a very costly affair in transport because of so many tolls are there. But it was stuck for 32 hours. So more than 25 to 30 kilometers, there was a line of all these our transport vehicles, heavy vehicles, then public transportation system, and they were stuck in a such a way that they couldn't go backward or go front. So before Panvel, that particular transport and traffic jam was there only because of one leakage of gas tanker. And preparedness on this road transport, it is three-lane road, the express highway, but the authorities couldn't know how to remove that leak gas tanker from that area, because they have some first aid measures they have taken to stop that leakage with some this cement or with some other pop material like this thing, but it couldn't help. Then again they have to call two empty gas tankers to refill that leakage gas from that particular tanker. So for that also they have taken 12 to 18 hours decision. And after emptying that leakage gas tanker to these two containers, then they have removed that particular leakage gas tanker through cranes. And then after 32 hours, the traffic has been started. So these consequences are occurring around our environment, around our surrounding also. But whenever we don't consider or don't give the importance to the preparedness, then definitely I suppose any such disaster management will have a very less impact or a very less, I suppose, consideration is there. Then definitely we have lot of losses, lot of vulnerability can be occur after that particular impact. So I uh, appeal you that this particular risk management cycle or disaster management cycle can help us to control any disaster and to have a relief, rescue, rehabilitation in that particular occurrences when it happen. And I suppose for all students, then technocrats, then common house wife or house users, students, they can be aware with this particular disaster management cycle. And then this is a particular again cycles very specific to our fire risk management. So I suppose in this also we have whenever any fire occurrences or disaster of fire occurrences, then the things happening at the different stages and how we can control these particular activities, or how we can lower down the impact of fire, that has been well explained. So this particular fire risk management cycle, we can also prepare on this also cyclone, flood, earthquake, or tsunami, like any such disasters. On the same basis, the what all things are involved and how the things can be relieved, rescued, and how we can come to the normal situation, normal life. Next. Okay.
Management and safety.
Now, when we consider about the fire risk management, then again I told you as a we are architecture point of view or any engineer's point of view, the designing of that particular build form is very important. And from that first point only, if we consider what should be the design, how the spaces should be designed, what should be interaction or coordination of the different spaces, then services, then material selection, technology, then end users, then installation of these services, uh, about firefighting or equipments, then about its audits and certification, and then last the public awareness, those who are user in this particular premises. Then I suppose definitely if all this a chain of process we consider in any space, then definitely we can control and we can limit the losses of human being also and loss of property also very well. So very crucially we can consider all these stages while designing and development of any build form. Next. Okay. Now from here we are going to discuss in detail the different stages in preparedness, because just in this introduction and some two cycles we have seen that how the risks are there and what is the vulnerability and how the processes are to be well defined at the previous or early stage of design. Now here we know that one is the material management where the selection of material, the second is the design management, means once we select the material, what to buy material use for that particular build form, then how it to be designed with the different spaces, activities, then technology and construction management. So where we have to see what type of construction technology, frame structure, steel structure, composite structure, how it can be managed. Then once we design the things, once we construct the things, then comes the finishes or interior spaces. So where we are using different finishes to this particular build form, maybe flooring is there, maybe plastering, ceiling or interior furniture, door, windows, like all these things may be there. After we do the interior spaces, then comes services. Services management, because we know that for the smooth functioning of all these areas we require different services, that is plumbing services, electricity, air conditioning, then we have firefighting services, then nowadays we have CCTV systems. So many of the services are integrated into this build form where it facilitates of our lifestyle also. And after these services we have to go for the different equipment management, because we know that once we have developed all these infrastructure facilities, then we have to fit some manually operated equipments or some are automatically operated. So the equipment management also one of the best thing into this. Then we have to go for signages, because when we are the end users in this build form, then that time we also be aware about what are the different signages at what location, what is the meaning of that signages, and definitely that will also work. Then we have to go for audits and certification, because we know that once we take the building permission and then up to the completion we can do so many changes into that, but we don't go seriously for any audits or any certification for that building, for what purpose it was sanctioned and for what purpose we are using. So here the fire audits or maybe audit from the any licensing authorities and also certification, that is for all, not only for the extinguisher but also the spaces, any other development that are carried in that build form, that also we have to consider. Then we have to consider for public awareness. Public awareness, because here only the end user who is using all these facilities in that build form should be also aware what may be any happen, many disasters, and for that what preparedness he should have. So this mock drills or public address system and any other such awareness system should be designed. And also we have to have some checklist, so that this checklist also always be ready or be prepared for a human being to go for any or to defend for any such causes happen in that platform when every day or every time he is using with his family members, with his guests, with his relatives in that platform. So definitely this checklist is the very important thing. Yeah. Yes. Material. Now this our first aspect is the material management. Now here we know that in market also or it is also certified by the fire resistance materials that we can use. So the resistance means they may catch fire, but at least they can resist a fire to become vulnerable up to 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 2.5 hours like that. Means whenever we are using such material, then definitely we can have a time for relief and rescue of the people from these premises. So this is a very important thing. So fire resistance capacity of that material, according that we can select, and once we know which materials are good fire resisting, according to that for construction we can use that particular material. And definitely because of that fire resisting capacity, whenever any causes occur in that build form, so definitely that will be help us to speedy recovery, speedy evacuation of the people from that area, or minimize the losses, or what particular action to be taken for control on the fire like this thing. The next is design management. That is our role of architect, important role, because we know that all this in NBC code we have all these design aspects, but to follow this IS codes and NBC code is very important in designing or planning, because we know that we have different services, corridors, open ducts, open to sky areas in our build form. So the coordination of all these area while we are designing any space, that is we may have service ducts for plumbing or the sanitary work, we may have electrical ducts, we may have lift, staircases, corridors, lobbies, entrance fires, and also the location of staircase shaft. And we will also support these all services with the help of specially designed for fire fighting purpose, because we know that we have also a freedom to design a firefighting lift, sorry, firefighting staircase, fire lobbies, or smoke corridors, and ducts, or fire separation wall. So like these things in design aspects we consider, then definitely I suppose once we taken care of all such particular design aspects, considering with IS codes, considering with NBC, then our most of the challenges may be solved, because the first step, that is in design, if we take care, then definitely the forthcoming issues in fire management or fire risk, that definitely will be minimized. Now here we have construction or technology management, where we know that again we have to select the different material structure, then its composition, and how that can be resist this particular things while case of fire, and minimize the losses of human being and property also. So technology also plays very important role in this thing. And I suppose we have different consultants in this area also, where they can also guide us what the technology or how the system can be designed for all these build forms. Now just this aspect we have discussed, because we know that because of our lifestyle and because of our the fantasy to have a good finishes in our build form, once we occupy that spaces, then we don't care what should happen in case of fire. So that is the first. So no any logic to use any material in this particular finishings or fabrics in this area. So but definitely a lot of mark in material available in the market nowadays which can also resist fire, and up to that we may have not any vulnerable things, because most of the interior spaces that causing fire first, and because of that the smoke can be sprayed or fire can be sprayed, because the curtains are there, then we have cushions, then we have galichas, then some interior spaces like furniture in wooden or door windows also. So I suppose these are very combustible materials and definitely catch fire as early, and this will be also becomes vulnerable. So here also, while we are designing any interior spaces, right from selection of flooring tiles to wall finishes or to interior materials, so we can also take a consultancy from a good designer or interior designer, and definitely I suppose this will be also help as like designing the spaces, how to furnish the spaces for fire resistance purpose is also very important. Okay. Now we know that services, because without services we can't perform our day-to-day work, and services are very important in all will form. So these services to be driven, we require electricity, we require air conditioning, we require light, ventilation, then plumbing, sanitation, and so many other services coordinate in build form. But if the maintenance and repairs of the services are not done at the particular intervals, then also they may cause serious things. For that purpose, we have seen also in the building projects or building complexes, there is BMS, that is building management system, where in that particular area we can detect any such leakages, any such mishaps, any such uh, hazards takes place, and definitely the persons who is monitoring that BMS then will account to, he will take care, as well as the regular repair maintenance, as we have audits and certification of all these services also will help us to have a good fire resistance. And also because of services, most of the times also we see that the mismanaging of the services or mixing of the services are not controlled with whatever the requirement, then also the fire takes place. And because maybe one human being's mistake, the others, total his neighbors or his the property owners can be the sufferer. So that it is the duty of everyone, whenever he is using any for his individual lifestyle any such services, then always the repair, maintenance, proper loading, because that once such systems are designed for some electric loads and we use the heavy machineries or heavy equipments, then also that may have short circuits and fires may occur. So we have seen so many incidences surrounding our areas, and definitely services also, good design of services, coordination, repairs, maintenance, audits is also very important. Mm. Mm. Now we know that most of our public buildings it is compulsory to have these firefighting equipments, and these audits also takes place. But you know that how to handle these equipments or how to use, whether they are particularly maintained or not, that is the question mark. So we also when visit for our any council inspection or AIST inspection, whenever we see that, then they इंस्टीट्यूट पीपल विल आंसर नो नो सर अभी तो उसका सर्टिफिकेशन होने वाला है, ऑडिट हो गया है लेकिन सर्टिफिकेट मिला नहीं, लाइक दिस आंसर मीन दे आर वेरी केयरलेस. But whenever these equipments are there, then they should be properly maintained, they should be known to the users how to handle these things in case of emergency. Otherwise, only installation of these equipments without any maintenance, without any repairs, without any how to handle these things by the users, occupants in that building will not of no use. Then any case of fire may happens, the system may be there, but we can't control that. So dry risers, wet risers, fire alarm system, sprinkler system, then buckets of sand, then you have these other smoke detectors. So I suppose every these particular equipments, maybe some are fixed type or some are manually to be operated. They should be known to the end users. There be some mock drills to be taken place. The such particular any emergencies that can be experienced, and the peoples maybe always get ready for such particular emergencies. And I suppose these equipments and maintenance also plays very important role, because most of the time, because we know whenever we enter into hotel for our any 1 or 2 days accommodation, stay there, but whenever the learned person is there, definitely when in the room at the backside of the entrance door you have the evacuation map, just to see that. Then we'll see how these extinguisher or fire alarm system is there nearby. In case of emergency may happen anytime, no? It not be happen only in my house, but whenever I will go outside also, it may be any railway station or any airport, any marketplace, shopping malls, anywhere. So first we have to at least know where this evacuation, how to evacuate in the emergency, what are the systems employed to that. So I suppose all these to be only help with the public awareness and use of these equipments very oftenly by the users or mock drills in such areas to be taken place. Now, smoke management, just now I told you, because of the smokes, we have very vulnerable things happens, because smokes travels as per the speed of wind, and that may causes lot of casualties. So how to manage the smokes? So where we have the pressurized lifts are there, pressurized corridors are there, which can intermittent to these public places, so smoke can't travel into these areas, and so rescue and relief operation can be easily done. So normally we know that in case of such emergencies, the normal lifts, normal staircase we don't use. But how to use these fire lifts or fire staircase? And what is the provision of the particular back system for this? So definitely, I suppose the passage of smoke from one area to another will always cause lot of emergencies as well casualties. So people should always aware whenever any smoke is there, then in that cases from where we have to travel, because you know that the ducts, then lobbies or these open to sky areas are the places from where the smokes can rise from one place to another. It is always in the upward direction or horizontal direction. So definitely once we identify this area, how to lock this smoke and how the peoples can be rescued, then the areas which are smokeless, that we have to consider. So smoke management also important thing. Okay. Now this is the very peculiar things that we know, because just now I discussed about the evacuation system in the hotels or public places. So all the signages also are there as the part of our authorities or certification. The signages we have to put. But again, the awareness that will come when we have the detailed description, detailed informed signage from our school days, because in our school syllabus or curriculum we have the signages, then students should know what this sign for what. Otherwise, when we'll go all in the market or when you go in the outside surrounding, then he should couldn't know what is the signages or what the things means. And definitely, this signages awareness is very important from childhood, and then definitely, I suppose we can familiar to these signages very well, and definitely that will help us to how to rescue relief, how to control in case of fire emergency or fire risk. Okay. Then audit and certification, just now I told you, this also it is have taken a very crucial point, because the audits and certification that were done by the licensing person, not by any just for uh, cost saving purpose or cost cutting purpose from any person who is not authorized, then also becomes very casual things. Casualties will be more. So this audits, fire audits at the regular intervals, then certification, because the filling of this extinguisher or the repairs maintenance from 1 year to up to 5 or so, as per this particular its location status, the certification will be there. And definitely this audit and certification help us not only maintaining this equipments but also the handling the equipment in case of emergency. Otherwise, most of the places I have seen that sometimes these equipments are handled and they are empty when actually any emergencies are taken place. So that should be not happen. So you can have a such agency which can in 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 periodically inspect your place and also see that what are the things properly maintained or not, or whether that refilling is to be done properly, leakages are there or not, or any some demos or mock drills to be given to the users, those who are using that area. It may be institutional building, residential building, commercial building, what it may be. But definitely, I suppose this audits and certification plays very important role, and that is why the license or authorized persons authorizes is very important in this case. Now, the most important thing, the everything will be on in that location. No doubt, architect designed very well building. The services consultant, interior consultant has also designed with all his knowledge. Then the builder developer has installed all the equipments. The signs are there, and the certification audit also he has taken, but it is requirement of for this completion certificate. Then if public is not aware about all these things, then what is the use of these areas? Because anyhow, whenever we have to do rescue and relief, that can be done by the public awareness only. Because up to any outside rescue relief team comes into your space or comes to your built environment, the first aid or first step is to be taken by the users or by the public that are staying or that are accommodating that place. So awareness in public about these things, then I should not should be panic. It should be with the people with strong their these aims object that can be they come forward, the daring peoples that can be identified in the society. Like these things, the awareness can be done with regular intervals, then only the system can be worked out. Otherwise, without public awareness, if you have to only wait to arrival of rescue and relief team, then so many loss of lives, loss of property will be there. So what first step should be then? How to operate this particular extinguisher? How to control? From where to rescue? Where to gather? To whom to call? Even also we have to know the emergency numbers, because most of the time this emergency number list is not also displayed at the proper location. We have seen just for the purpose of authority inspection only they will display, and after 1 or 2 years they will disappear from that place. So this should not casual approach should not be there. So I suppose for this regular mock drills, regular discussion, regular such peoples, those who are having some knowledge in this risk management, they may be there in society, their list, then emergency numbers, then ambulance, police, then rescue team, relief team, private NGOs also can be help can be taken place. So definitely all together work, their coordination will definitely help to survive also and to reduce the loss of property and loss of lives. Now this also is a very important thing. Yes. So this also one of the thing where we have seen that the different types of disasters that can take place and the sudden impact of disasters that becomes vulnerable when we are no this rescue relief or timely help in that cases. So we call it as accident. But every situation can't be accident. So I suppose again our first this top that is preparedness. If our public or the end user or the particular team is prepared in all this manner, and the good coordination will definitely help to reduce the vulnerability. So I suppose we can't just treat it as an accident, because once we say it is accident, that means we have no any answers like that. But why the accident will takes place, and how the vulnerability in this accident can be reduced with the intervention of the human being, with the intervention of the technical devices, with the intervention of the coordination or strong support of local authorities, then different teams for rescue and relief. So definitely, I suppose we can overcome all such of accidents and severity. Thanks. Now, after studying all these aspects of fire risk management, we have to see that from the design step, that is selection of material, technology, construction, architect has a very important role in these things. And any building that may cause fire because of human errors, because of technical errors, but then also how to overcome on all this is the very important. For that purpose, all these managements in preparedness, that 9 managements just we have discussed, we feel they work hand in hand, then definitely I suppose this will be overcome by we the people. As well as just now I discussed about the introduction of the signages or other relief and reaction system from this curriculum. Then also the students will aware in the society, the public will be aware in the society. And nowadays I know that most of the institutes also these chapters are there on disaster management. Even there are some mandatory electives or mandatory subjects also in the syllabus, because we have designed in last year also the syllabus for diploma in architecture program. So there also we have introduced this syllabus because students should know what type of at least disaster and what are the authorities from where we can get the support, help, or which are the hierarchy of authorities from local level to the higher level in these cases. So I suppose these challenges are there definitely, but introducing this particular from architect point of view from the design first step, and also from the curriculum implementation from school level, because after all in the colleges and other things this subject is mandatory, as like our environmental awareness we also having given, also we have constitution of our this constitution also one of the mandatory subjects they have made. Even yoga nowadays also they have made this subject like this thing also. I suppose if this risk management or disaster management subjects can be implemented at all levels, then definitely I suppose we'll have a good future India, good citizens, and awareness will always help us to build a new capacity building in the public and to help to overcome any disaster or any challenges in this field. So now the second session, my associate colleague, Professor Shilpa, that is our national building code. So he is expert in that field. So she will discuss, and then I suppose we'll have a question and answer session.
And yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Professor Shilpa, madam, you please go to your presentation.
Yes, sir. Please allow me to share my screen.
Yes, ma'am. Already you have the rights.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Welcome, ma'am, to the session. Looking forward to listening to you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
So after the Shilpa ma'am presentation, there is interaction session with our participants. Yeah. Coming, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yeah, is it visible, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Perfectly.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Gone. Please share once again, ma'am.
Yeah.
Today I'm very happy. This presentation is already be, streaming in USA and Ethiopia also. I think Amput Kumar sir is. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. I should express my gratitude towards you, sir, Nagendra sir, and our principal, Dr.
Always,
Rajendra,
ma'am.
sir, who has
Ji.
invited and initiated this presentation from my side. Thank you, sir. So very important stage, that is fire safety as per National Building Code. Everybody, we as a planner, everybody knows that fire safety rules are very much important, and those are mentioned in National Building Code, which is revised just now in 2016 amendment. But rather than this, there are some more rules which would be followed in India, like Model Fire Services Bill 2019. We also follow IS 1641 specifications, which specifically given for the critical requirements for fire detection and systems. IS 12458, where the detailed standards of fire stop protections are also given. The start to end, from the planning to implementation, we go for this National Building Code as a Bible, we can say, for each and every planning situations. So the National Building Code has enforced from 1970s in India, and it has various revisions happened from 1983 till 2016, and still some minor updates are coming after various case studies in India. So fire prevention includes inclusive in Chapter 4, which is applicable for high-rise buildings. So high-rise building criteria, it should be more than 15-meter height, and the space requirement, it should have a floor plate of at least 500 square meter and above. Institutional buildings which are more than 9 meter and above, or assembly buildings where get-together event or indoor areas, the get-together events are happening, we are following the same requirement. So it is divided in 3 parts, where the fire prevention, life safety, and fire protection laws are mentioned. So as per the occupancy, we can say the sanctioning or any kind of building sanctioning, construction or approval, we need to follow the basic requirements as per the NOCs or any kind of certification before project has been sanctioned from any authority. So what are those provisions mentioned for various kind of groups, construction groups? Those are divided in 9 groups with some subdivisions. So A to J, there are some groups. For A, we should go for various residential buildings where lodging, hotel, apartments are there. B kind, where educational buildings, schools, colleges, training centers are there. C, we have institutional buildings. D, where all assembly buildings, where fixed seats, or we can say auditorium, shopping mall, food courts are there. Business buildings where IT kind of thing, like IT buildings, telephone exchanges, TV stations, electronic testings are there. F building, where we have hotel, educational laboratories, where some hazards or minor to major hazards are also there. G, where industrial buildings, we have furnaces and boiler systems installed, where more hazard is there. In H, storage buildings are there, and J criteria, where hazardous building like gas bottling plants or like that are involved. Very beautifully, the terminologies are explained in this part 4. Various terminologies, I have taken some of them. which architects planners are using. So fire triangle, where the three major elements, solid, liquid, or gas, are involved, like for oxygen, heat, and fuel. These are the three major parts playing a role in any kind of fire. So if we cut off any one of them, we can get control on the fire. So many terminologies like what are the combustible materials, what are the fire resistant rating is what, fire load, fire density, compartmentation kya hai. These kind of systems are explained over there. Also, fire lift, means of egress, these are playing important roles in evacuation of any kind of hazard system. Exit access to be planned very thoughtfully. Exit discharge, travel distance is mandatory. Smoke and exhaust system has to be taken care. Also, we can see pressurization mentioned over here. We can see a green portion in a staircase or a lobby area, and the red portion in fire hazard zone we can see. So what is this green portion? It is a pre-pressurized vacuum evacuated space where we have to be taken care that person who is evacuating from this lobby, either from the lift or a staircase, that fire should not spread inside the lobby of the staircase. For that, pre-pressurization is done. So this is very mandatory, important mandatory requirement. Most of the time it is taken neglected by the developer, but it is very important because the person is moving away from the fire. The fire should not be taken through the staircase because it is a major point to evacuate. So also means of egress, important point is that the width of the staircase should not be less than 1.2 meter. All the external walls should be thicker, RCC, or at least fire rating 2 hours fire rating is required. 2 staircases, if we plan, like we go for the 100 meter or like that, we extend our building, we know that expansion joint is there. But important thing is that we should have 2 means of egress, like 2 staircases, fire staircases, or the 2 lifts has to be taken at a 3 meter radial distance. They shall be enclosed type, so pressurized system is also should be there. And mandatory thing is that one of them has to have planned in an external wall, as the person who is evacuating or coming from the staircase should go directly on the external face, and he should not be trapped inside on the ground floor. So this is very mandatory requirement. Fire lift, most of the time we can say fire rescue time, electricity cutoff is there, and people cannot rescue in a speedy way, as the staircase is very lengthy, or due to the some age groups, people, they cannot run fast. So here we can see emergency rescue device, that is ERD, specialized lift are there provided in any kind of fire system lift, where a person can move from this lift safely, having a extra system of extra backup system provided for this kind of lifts. Also, fire escape plan plays important role, where the fire evacuation plan diagram has to be provided on all the floors near the means of the egress, and the person should know where I am just now standing and where should I go while the disaster is happening. Also, what are the escape ways and what are the preventions I have to be taken care of, like where are the extinguishers are there, what are the extinguishers, and the dialing system we can escape by calling the person, please rescue us. So these calling system numbers should be mentioned over there. Also, fire prevention material plays important role, as Koli sir already explained that material has to be thoughtfully taken and decided by the planners. So clear means of egress, where the number of egress and the exits should have a properly fire rated doors, fire rated staircase material, even the thoughtfully implementation of handrail of a staircase has to be taken. Otherwise, the beautification, in kind of beautification, we forgot about this thing, and we get into a man-made disaster afterwards. Planning consideration in firefighting, we must go for various vertical protection system where wet riser system and dry riser system is there. Where wet riser system is fully 24/7, the water is accumulated in all the pipelines. Where the more and more, like 50 meter and maximum height more than 50 meter, we should have the extra care to be taken that water is present in the pipeline. Otherwise, in dry riser system, we have to call upon the vehicles, water tankers, or the pumping system where the time would taken a chance. Like we cannot have that time over there. So we should go for these two kind of system thoughtfully in an area. We always plan for the mandatory requirements of fire tanks to be provided. Like it is dependent upon the height of the building and occupants. Like to up to the 15 meter, we should go at least for 10,000 liters of fire storage tanks. And increasing way, we should go for above 60 meter height of a building. We should go for 75 or 1 lakh liter of tank for this situation. Pumping arrangement is very much important in the building, as we should have a pressurized water has to be present in the hose reel. So to avoid this water low pressure, we should go for various kinds of pumps. So this capacity of pump is also mentioned in NBC, where the clause is there, J9 1.9 table, where how the main hydrant pumps has to have the capacity like 300 meter square के लिए कितना चाहिए, more than 1000 square meter के लिए कितना चाहिए. So it has already mentioned over there. Again, fire water tank requirement is that it should be always filled up 24/7. It has to have filled up with the water. Again, it should have a soft water, that is corporation water has to be there rather than having a hard water. So this kind of system we can apply, where the water has to fill fire water tank first and the flow can go to the domestic water tank. So every time the water going to the domestic water tank, water is always present in a fire water tank, and it is most of the time it is filled. Any urban situation where lot of population there, we go for the snorkel ladder, which is very important to rescue people. So we should have that provision in our building by providing the refuge floors. So the refuge floor plays important role. It is mandatory to have typically about 24 meter height building after every seventh floor. These areas are open to air and should not have any construction around it, rather than only having the parapet walls. So by this, we can say fire which are happening in India are now alarming situation, big concern, because we can say see the numbers, like 51% of fire and deaths are having in India, like Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh, where most of the urban centers are there. Some of them I can say, like Rajkot Game Zone fire, which happened in 2024. The analysis was without valid fire NOC, the project has been completed. So this was very alarming situation. Again, a Delhi fire, Mundka building, where a single exit was provided and there was no other exit was there, and the people got heavily locked, and the fire was a big tragedy. Takshashila Arcade, Surat, 2019, we could say the illegal dome structure was there on the top of the floor, and which was blocking the exit ways, and the students were trapped over there. Kamla Mills fire happened in 2017, where it's rapidly spread over there due to the inflammable materials. Like flammable materials, where lot of things were burnt out, and bamboo curtains tarpaulin sheets were there. Hospital fire occurred in 2020 or 25. Many hospital fires they are there, which are like Virar, Bharuch, and these things without the electrical installation and maintenance safety system, illegal operations. So India's fire mortality rate is 5.4 per 1 lakh people, significantly very much higher than the global average of like 1.9. So we must see a building, national building code, which indicates the despite regulations and the hazardous violations which are blocking the exits or alarm system not properly working. It has a cause of various, like it creates a major man-made disaster if we don't follow it. So code emphasizes on various things like how exits should be planned, how the active and passive protection has to be there, means of egress, no obstructions while running, a person who is running from the corridors. Alarming and detection system should be monitored properly. Water supply system has to be playing important role. Fire safety audits and the maintenance of the equipments is the important thing which is be also mentioned over there. So it emphasizes the fire safety embedded in design DNA from the planning stage, ensures secure environment and prioritizing the human life and property protection. So we must see National Building Code as a stitch-in-time guide for all the planners and implementers in India, as to avoid the human and property losses, not due to the natural hazards, but the man-made hazards too. Thank you, sir.
So wonderful presentation, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Arshia, ma'am. So I'm requesting all participants, please switch on your camera so that I can take group photograph. Meanwhile, Arshia ma'am will continue. Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible? Okay. Arshia ma'am, you are muted. Unmute, please. So I am requesting all participants, really, Rajendra Koli sir, you are here? Rajendra sir, I am requesting all, please switch on your camera.
Yes, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
switch
sir.
on your camera, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We have very renowned personality, not only in India. We have Professor Amarjit Sahni sir from USA. Really proud moment for all of us. Dr. Balkar sir. Yeah.
Sir, I would like to thank
Yes,
Architect
please.
Shilpa and Dr. Koli for an engaging and enlightening session. Your presentation has provided us with a valuable clarity on fire safety codes, preparedness, and their role in the effective fire risk management. We now open the session for question, answer, and interaction. Participants are requested to either post their questions in the chat box, or they can raise hands and unmute their mic and talk one by one. Thank you so much.
Yes. So first question, I think sir want to say, Professor Amarjit Sahni sir from USA.
Yes, sir.
Unmute kijiye sir, please.
Yes. Good morning here and good evening in India.
Sir,
I'm
good
very
morning.
very happy to participate. I learned so much. The presenter made. My personal background is in architecture and urban planning. It just happened so I reviewed a book 2 years ago about disaster management. Somebody wrote a book and they asked me to review American Collegiate School of Planning and Architecture. We have an organization of professors. But anyhow, I have one comment that I'm very interesting because the kind of work I do, my concern is that all these codes and all these things should also be taken consideration to people, especially the poor communities, the underserved communities, the people who come from other part of India and then they come to big urban cities. So these fire codes should also apply to them and also consideration for them. Because in any disaster we have seen in the US, the low income communities are people who are in rental apartments or who are in homeless shelters. They get impacted more than the average person. So in other words, all these things sounds very good, but I think the consideration should be in urban planning towards the cities, urban cities, especially those people are left behind, because they get impacted more when any disaster happens or even man-made disaster happens. So there should be some provision that we should consider that in our discussion. Thank you.
Very true, sir. Very true, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think Subodh Dixit ji already raised hand.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please. Unmute कीजिए, sir. Unmute, please.
Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Very good evening.
Yeah, I think in a country like India, there are so many public events like Jatras, Yatras, Langar, and all kind of satsangs. They happen in temporary pandals, open grounds, or some closed areas where they don't follow any such fire safeties. And many such events happen in these kind of public areas.
Yes.
So,
Right.
could you please throw some light on this, that how we can handle such event, because these are very large gatherings. Like one in Mandardevi in Maharashtra, it happened, and so many lives lost in that because there was no such prevention taken. So, how can we handle such things? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Very good question raised by Subodh, sir. And definitely, sir, I suppose in this particular matter, we have to take help of NGOs, those who are trained or working in this rescue relief operation, because only government authority, they have very limitations about their vehicles, safety measures, equipments. But definitely the NGOs who are working in this particular disaster for last so many years, so they have technical support, they have good advanced equipments, they have good advanced relief system, and at emergency they are very speedily approach to this area. But definitely if we know the quantum of, yes, but if we know the quantum of such events or the particular capacity of persons to be involved, then definitely I suppose such cases from its introduction, means when this announcement there, the such NGOs will be there and they will be definitely, I suppose, control such situations. Only government authorities, police persons, volunteers is not uh, sufficient to control. I know, because these particular events are maybe 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakhs, like peoples may involved into this. And so many people, as now Sani sir has told, they are coming from the rural part of India in such event. So they are not so much educated, learned one, how to do, what things will happen in such disasters. So definitely, I suppose the help of NGOs, trained NGOs, and coordination of local authorities will take care and definitely sort such a large area gathering. Maybe Kumbh Mela, because we have seen last year Kumbh Mela that happened in our Prayagraj. The same thing has happened. So I suppose we have to work out on such particular events, and for that compulsory government or these authorities should involve or invite these NGOs who are trained one. Yes, sir.
I have a comment on that. I was recently in Punjab just a month ago, and there were so many activities on the roadside, religious activities among the Sikh population that I saw. And the Mr. Bodh commented on the open area. So Indian culture is very open. So there should be special fire codes for those people when they do activities like festivities, in the open, and there'll be like thousands of people. So they are really at risk all the time. And like you said, they might be coming from the rural area or they might be on the urban area. They might not be aware of it. So there has to be some consideration. So in the event of disaster or in terms of, just man-made things can happen. So there has to be some consideration for those activities, not only for flats or apartments or office. That's great, but we have to, one has to look at the culture, that the way we conduct ourselves in the open. And there are a lot of activities, in the temples, in the gurdwaras, in the mosques, and in the churches, and also outside on the roadside. And those people can be impacted a lot.
Architect Shilpa ma'am, are there any norms for these kind of temporary structures? Could you throw some light on this?
Yeah, there are some amendments coming, ma'am.
Right.
Which are data. Every time those are formulated and published.
Right.
So, yeah, those I could not find it over here, but those are there.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Jashan, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I
Good
am
evening.
a student of LPU, a lovely professional university, and I've been listening to you all and great presentations, by the way. And I'm really glad that Amarjit sir is here. And again, the sir is my mentor in my school, college. He has been talking about all of you all over. So my question after listening to all of your presentations and the questions Amarjit sir put over here is basically like we see that in a lot of religious places, a lot of let's say in gatherings, a religious gathering, there are no to very minimum fire hazard controls, right? So
Right.
that's an issue within itself. But the another issues about if we talk specifically about Punjab, that in the time of when the crops were burned down after the harvesting, right? The fires, the smokes that come onto the highways disturb the traffic. So due to that, there are a lot of hazards, there are a lot of traffic jams on the highways. And in my opinion, I don't know about that, but basically, in my opinion, we should throw some light on that, that how can we secure fire safety on the road while traveling? Because as we were talking about the gas incident in Mumbai to Pune highway, if we would have taken care of that fire hazard over there, the things might be better, or let's say under control.
For this, definitely the preparedness by the local authorities and the state and central level team. Because as I'm told, the situation in Punjab, also in our Maharashtra, we have good forest area. There also in the month of April, May, when there is a dry, these trees, leaves and everything, and most of the peoples, they will sometimes they fire in their crops, and this fire may spread and it will catch the fire into jungles or forest area where newly planted trees are there. That also occasions that come. But here in that case, the Department of Forest is very alive because they know that such misuse or such mishaps are there in this April, May, this normally after Holi season. So I suppose the local authority, then state authority, central authority, they should have such rescue relief team how to control such forest areas or where the crops when they are burned after this harvesting, then the spread of fire or spread of smoke, and what any actions to be taken place with awareness of public in that rural area or with that panchayat area. Definitely I suppose we can control. But again I will say that the awareness as well as preparedness both can have to play a very important role, because that gas leakage that I just told you, but government has never come across such a situation, so they are seeing the first time, but first time will be also the last time, not be. So I suppose when such things may happen, how the rescue relief team will operate, how the peoples will be evacuated from that area, how the, because the traffic jam for 32 hours has not only the traffic jam for the peoples or people's what we call unhealthy condition, but also the goods that come from the rural area like milk, commodities, vegetable, fruits, that also totally wasted because it is a perishable thing. It can't go into the this what you call commercial city like Mumbai. So many 100 to 200 trucks loaded with vegetables, milk vans, then any other good comer, they all stuck up into the traffic. They couldn't move forward or come backward. So whatever they're carrying, so that also huge loss of the farmers or these producers. So I suppose so many things that can be considered in this such things when happen. And definitely I suppose in such things also we can take help of NGOs for the first
Yes.
step or the things can be taken place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Anybody else has a question?
Good evening,
Sanjeev sir
all.
also joined.
Good
Welcome,
evening,
Good evening,
Sanjeev.
sir.
all. Good evening, all the panelists, Dr. Koli sir, and the
Yes.
Shilpa man, and the coordinators, and my president. So I just have to say, first of all, thank you. Thanks for the wonderful presentation. And secondly, I have a point of view towards Dr. Kohli also,
Yeah.
that a lot of urbanization is taking place in entire India.
Right.
Right.
That includes high-rise buildings and industry at the same time. We have bylaws, fire laws, and fire compliances for high-rise buildings and any industry or any other unit. But let me say it that the 80% of loss of life due to fire incident is from the domestic fires.
Yeah.
I believe you will agree to it.
Yes.
Say in the context of urbanization, if one has a plot of 500 square yards and at the most one is permitted to build ground plus two or three stories. So on the domestic front, there is no such bylaw. There is no such mandate for one to go for the fire arrangements. So what do you say that if it should be mandatory from the government side, one, and if it should be taught by the architect itself to have certain kind of arrangements, so that again can save the good amount of loss of life in the domestic front. What do you say about this, sir?
Yes, a very good question. Now, in this thing, also, I've seen the affordability of the end user because normally, what is it? So many things they are in the bylaws and everything. But again, the
Yes.
installation of that thing in that premises that will increase the cost of that particular project or like these things. But we have to very honestly, the architect as well as the planner or local, they see that it is only after all for the saving of
Saving
life,
of life, saving of
Yes.
not
precious life.
saving of property. So just same
One
thing.
single life in
Yes.
other ways, sir.
So maybe 2 crores of your property will be there, but within a just your man-made this what do you call is mistakes, the total family
Yes.
you can lose. So what is the use of that 2
Yes,
crores?
of course, sir.
Really?
The
So
cost cannot, I mean,
yes,
cross over the cost of the
correct.
life
Life.
of the occupants.
Because we now
So
seen that.
this thing is grossly missing in the planning
Yeah.
and I mean awareness also. Planning and awareness, the complete thing is missing on the domestic fronts.
And
Right.
maintenance of the thing also we normally delayed. Any maintenance, maybe any electric points, electric gadgets. We just operate it up to what they fail to operate
Yes.
like that thing. So that is also negligence. So I saw for that also, whatever the electric gadgets we purchase market, there should be rated one, there should be safe one, that should be installed by proper a reputed licensed hold electrical person. We may pay some good cost for that, no problem. But the installation should be good. Otherwise,
Yes.
while using also maybe misuse or maybe misconnected things by the low quality of the electrician or any technician, that may also cause these fires in the
Yes, sir.
domestic.
Yes,
This
yes,
thing.
yes.
So I say in these cases,
Absolutely right, sir.
everybody
Thank you
should.
so much, sir. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, and accept my greetings in the capacity of Chapter Secretary Chandigarh FSAI.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I would like to close the session and thank you so much, Dr. Koli, Architect Shilpa. Thank you, Professor Amarjeet, and thank you, Mr. Sandeep Bhardwaj and Dr. Nagendra Ranayan. We're looking forward to having much more of these interactions and sessions in future as well, and spread the awareness for fire safety among students, faculty members, and the entire community which is associated with.
Ma'am, one
Right.
student already raised hand.
Okay, sir. I'll just Anushka
Sorry for
Singh.
interruption.
Yeah, please. I'll conclude later. Please.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Ask your
Sorry,
question.
ma'am, for interrupting.
No problem.
Sorry for interrupting. Again, thank you for like having us for this webinar and presentation. My question would be like, since we were talking about awareness and how we need to spread it, what I have noticed and observed that because I live in a society. And so this
Right.
housing society I live in, we don't have much awareness. Like the people, residents don't know much about what the fire hazards could be. And I have seen a lot of fire hazards happening in front of my eyes, like
Okay.
HVACs exploding and
Oh
getting too
God.
much heated up, short circuits. So my
You-
question is like, how can we spread awareness that can be implemented? And
Right.
as
So
an architecture student, how can we spread this awareness with design approaches?
I have a comment on that, if you allow me, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes. So I think you brought something very important earlier. People talked about awareness. Awareness. I think the School of Architecture students can take the responsibility and leadership and start doing awareness in their own cities. So if you are a student in Chandigarh, or you're in Jalandhar, or you're in Pune, those schools, we should mandate that, maybe give them extra credit, that these students can get involved and go in the communities, especially when things are happening in the open areas, make people aware of it. So you give them some demonstration, what's important. Once people realize it's very important, they will accept it, because once you start policing it, through the city or through the your zoning boards, or whatever procedures you have in India, then what happens, people don't accept it because it's very hard to change culturally. But if the students take the leadership, right, 4 or 5 students in one school go to these activities, the word will spread out. And most of the people
Yes.
think young
Yeah.
people's word a lot better than people with us with a gray hair,
Right.
So I
Yes,
think
Yes,
sir.
you
sir.
have a great
Agree, sir.
opportunity
Agree.
to do it. Yes.
Yes, sir.
A
Yes.
good suggestion there, sir. And today,
Another.
yeah,
Yes,
and
yes,
today,
sir. Please carry
yeah,
on.
today only our government of Maharashtra, because you know that the Kumbh Mela is happening in 2028 in Nashik,
Okay, sir.
Godavari, that river area. So today only they announced that NSS, National Service Scheme volunteers will be taken help in the volunteering the different places in Kumbh Mela, and they will be awarded 2 credits in their
Oh,
education.
Okay, that's great.
And like that, I suppose I will also say to government, all architecture students for disaster management purposely.
Right,
Any
absolutely.
disaster that happens, because we are also now trained to our students with so many electives are there, and definitely I suppose more than 30
Right.
architecture colleges in Pune University. And
Mhm.
definitely I suppose the students of architecture will help the government what precautions, what are to be done in the disaster management, especially in case of disaster. Because Kumbh Mela is happening maybe for 1 to 3 months. There's a process, because last year only we experienced at Prayagraj. So today only government has declared about these 2 credits for students when they are
That,
graduating for any first class distinction, whatever it may be.
that's
Yes,
very
So that
good
is very
because
yes,
that's
sir,
very
sir,
good.
please.
It's their future. It's the young
Yes,
people's future in India. And if they make these things aware of it, otherwise you have a disaster in your hand because you got so many people. Like I was saying, my experience in Punjab recently,
yeah,
I saw these some of the Sikh temples were doing in the open. There
right.
was no follow up, and there were so many people, and they were good, they were doing all good things for the good of the mankind. They were doing all the langar and all that, and there were fire going on. But I think like the one of the student brought to our attention. So you have to take the leadership.
yeah,
So like if the professor or the school gives you 2 credits,
yeah.
take on that, and
Yeah.
and then everybody goes into the cities and do it. Thank you.
Sorry to
FSAI is
interrupt,
very
sir.
active in the student chapters as well, and
Yes.
students are regularly trained also. And I think Anushka, you can also take a lead from your school
Yes,
of
ma'am.
architecture and
See,
communication.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry,
Please,
sorry
please.
to interrupt.
No,
But
no.
I was about to comment on the thing that Amarjeet sir said just right now. That
Right,
yes, I'm backing up you, sir, on this. That people do know about the consequences, the circumstances that they will get into where a fire hazard will be there. But in my opinion, as far as I know, and I have observed people in the perspective of a student, that people know that there will be a problem if something went wrong, but they don't know the intensity of it. So keeping people aware of the problem is a certain thing, but keeping them aware with the intensity of the thing they will get into if the all the ticks were not on the list, that will be a hazard in it itself. And I think most of the systems fail in this due to this. Basically, they don't check up, they don't understand, they don't get the intensity they will get into. They will check up all the criterias, all the management hazards, but they don't, they are not prepared for any above I don't know, I'm particularly stuck on a word, but here, but basically, my whole point is people should be aware of the intensity that will they get into.
right, right.
good, good.
The kind of disaster which would be entailed into, not having enough knowledge and enough,
Yes, ma'am.
safety procedures around. Absolutely. Anybody else with the question?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening,
Yes,
Divyanshi.
Dibyanshi. Yes.
Ma'am, I am the student of Lovely Professional University. Professor Nagendra Narayan is my faculty. Ma'am,
Excellent.
my question is, which thing is more hazardous, fire or smoke? Like, uh, like there are so many things which are harmful to the building, like
Right.
earthquake. Then why
Mhm.
we are only talking about fire? So which natural disaster is more hazardous?
Right.
Fire, smoke, earthquake, etc.
Um, Anybody, any expert? What I would like to
Sir,
say,
Yes,
Rajendra.
Divyanshi.
I can give you the answer.
Yes, yes, sir.
Right,
Yes,
right.
sir. Please.
Please,
Yeah,
please, sir.
I'll give you global perspective. It
Yes.
depends where you are. Like I'm in Miami, so we have a coastal water issue, sea rise issue. But in India, what I see is the flooding. Flooding is the
Flooding.
most
Yes.
disastrous because when the monsoon comes and people are not prepared. So she has a good question. It's not only fire. So in the School of Architecture, you have to teach them about the disaster management. That could be depending on the region to region, right? So for example, Pune might be different and Punjab might be different because you're in the plains and the mountains is different. So you have to make a plan based on your typology, your topography.
Typology. Yes.
Yes. So the answer is where are you located? But in India overall is the flooding. I was in Egypt recently, and they were dealing. I was a Fulbright scholar for 3 months in Alexandria, and they were dealing with the same issue: is the disaster, is the flooding. So, and in Miami, we were also dealing with flooding. When the rain comes, certain part of the area. But like on Miami Beach, some of those communities are very wealthy. They could spend $100 million. Can you believe that? $100 million to pump the water out for a month, just to make the business people happy. Of course, they're going to tax you. They're going to tax you. They're going to get the money from you, right? But I think flooding is the one thing architecture students should think about it. So by raising the building, the codes should be a lot more stronger. There should be some sensors that people can be warned. These days you have a technology. It has nothing to do with resources and the money. Technology is there. Maybe there could be some apps where it could help the poor communities that, hey, there's going to be a disaster coming. There's a flood is coming, and that could save a lot of life, a lot of pain.
So
thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, so I want to say that like smoke is much hazardous than fire, or fire is much hazardous.
Dr. Koli, can you please?
Yes. In this case, it is again intensity. Because intensity of smoke, if it is there, then also we have first, because first there will be smoke and then there will be fire. Right. So intensity of smoke, if it is more and we couldn't rescue or evacuate from that, then it will be more disaster. And next stage will be the fire, where the property or the premises will be caught in fire and you can't rescue. But from smoke, if you evacuate it properly, then I suppose don't have to fight for the fire, these particular things that may happen. But smoke also is more disaster per thing. But fire, if it get, then it is very difficult for the evacuate. So anyhow, fire is the most disaster thing, according to the intensity of that particular location and the control on the fire.
Absolutely right, sir.
I further believe, sir, that disaster is a disaster in all the forms. So far, so it affects the life, and how quickly and how prepared we are. That the intensity depends upon that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely right, Bhardwaj sahab.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else with the questions?
I think not yet.
It's time for me to go. Well, thank you so much for
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
I have another commitment. Here is 10 o'clock. I got to go teach a class. Well, thank you so much.
Right.
But please invite me again, and you guys can look at my website, guskurban.org. GUSCURBAN. I couldn't get to the chat, otherwise I put that in. And I would like to be involved more.
I'll take you and share with other people, sir.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for inviting. All the best. Wish you all the best.
Yes, sir. Namaste.
It's my pleasure, sir. It's my pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Koli.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, and looking forward to interacting again, sir.
Yes.
And, on behalf of FSAI Chandigarh Chapter, thank you so much for sparing the time. And thank you to the participants for listening and participating in the questionnaire session.
Thanks
you.
a lot,
Thank
and
Thank
sir. Thank you, sir.
Take your leave.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So thank you, Professor Dr. Arshia Khajuria, ma'am, for good moderatorship.
Thank you so much, sir.
Dr. R.V. Koli sir and Architect Silpa ma'am for wonderful presentation, and Professor Sahni, especially from USA, interacting with us. So today is very informative session, and in upcoming time, as per the discussion held with other members, we will organize very shortly a panel discussion on the same topic. So thank you. FSAI will organize some other program and invite all our budding architects, rising architects, and faculty. Thank you. Good night. Shubhratri.
Good night.
Thank you a
Shubhratri,
lot.
sir.
Thank
Very
you, sir.
nice.
Thank you.
Good thing.
Good
Thank you.
night, sir. Have a great day.
Good night.